Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today we are talking about the various genres you can play in a tabletop RPG. If you enjoy these videos, then be sure to give me a like, smash that subscribe button, and if you have any questions or just want to tell me about your favorite genre, please leave it in the comments below. Please head on over to our Patreon where the link will be found below. Think about becoming a patron. I would greatly appreciate it. I hope you will consider joining us in our Facebook group over at Master the Game and join in on some of our conversations where we discuss tabletop RPG theory, character builds, settings, systems, new books coming out, and many more topics. Before we get into the various genres, I want to quickly talk about an upcoming event called Free RPG Day. Every year, there is an event where gaming companies give free product to promote their goods. You can go to participating stores and get your hands on these collector items. And some stores will have gaming events that you can plan to attend. I will personally be at Volta Midnight in Ann Arbor this year, hopefully running a Dungeons & Dragons 5e game. So if you are in the area, please stop by. I will be setting up my event in the Game 4 app as soon as I get confirmation and details that I am one of the GMs that they will have running games. Tabletop RPGs have been around for over 40 years, and in those 40 years, a lot of types of games have been made, covering every type of genre you can imagine. I have met a lot of people who only play fantasy, as well as some who only play sci-fi. It is important to find out what you are into, and don't be afraid to try new systems and new genres in order to find out what else you might like. It is also important to note that many systems do various genres well, and some only do a single genre extremely well. High fantasy is known for its epic content, whether it's its setting or its characters. It assumes that you're going to have a lot of high magic and extraordinary things happening. One system that excels in this is Dungeons & Dragons. Another system would be Pathfinder. They're known for their extraordinary epic style. Low fantasy assumes stuff that is more gritty, less magic involved, and a system that really does this well that I hear about all the time is Warhammer Fantasy. Dark fantasy incorporates obviously darker themes and horror into it, and a system that does this pretty well is Lamentations of the Flame Princess. And it's really gritty, high chances of death, and definitely something that if you're into dark fantasy, you should check out. Modern genre takes place in the present day, and a system that does this really well is GURPs. Supers are games where characters have extraordinary abilities and superpower. This genre is what brought me into tabletop RPGs when I was much younger. A couple systems for this would be Mutants Masterminds and Heroes Unlimited. Post-apocalyptic games are ones that take place in a setting that has already had a civilization fall, or it's in the process of falling. Some games that do this well are Shadowrun and Rifts by Palladium Books. Historic games take place in the past, but there are also games that allow you to play in an alternate history. Games such as Savage Worlds do this pretty well, where they have various settings that span different times, like Weird War Rome, Weird War 1 and 2. Those are some examples. Science fiction games are games that are more advanced as it relates to science and technology. One game that is actually free in PDF form is Phase World. Definitely recommend checking that out if you're into science fiction. Space opera is a subgenre of science fiction. It's known for being melodramatic, a lot of space warfare, interplanetary battle, a lot of risk-taking. It's really, really good. A system that I would recommend for this would be Travel. Steampunk is a setting that is really inspired by the 19th century. It has a high emphasis on technology, but fashion that ties in with the technology. A game that I would recommend for this would be Deadlands. Horror games are intended to make players feel something, whether it's tense, frightened, scared, creeped out, or just plain uneasy. A game that does this really well is Call of Cthulhu. Niche games are games that tend to be very specialized. There's games like Made the RPG, Kids on Bikes, a couple systems that handle multiple genres to a high degree are Fate and Savage Worlds. In fact, Savage Worlds has lots of different settings that would give you different feels for different genres. So those are just a couple as well that I would recommend. Now, if you're somebody that would really like to play in an established setting, such as Tolkien's Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or Doctor Who, for example, there's plenty of games out there. Star Wars has many versions of RPGs, whether it's a D6, D20, and now they have the latest one by Fantasy Flight Games that uses special dice for the narration. Anything you can imagine has probably been made into a tabletop RPG. If you're not sure of a specific genre that somebody wants you to play, give it a shot. You never know if you might like it or not. In a future video, we're going to talk about more specific systems. So if that sounds like something you would be interested in seeing, click that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Get your game on.